comfort. Comfortable. Cars do have their little souls. They have the things they like. They have the things that they don't want to do. It's just really interesting because I don't think people think about this enough. I think most people today, when they're shopping for a car, they're going to buy a newer car that pretends to do everything. They're going to buy an Audi A5. They're going to buy some electric SUV. And they're going to try and get one car to do it all. And the downside of a car that tries to do everything is that it never does anything exceptionally well. In a big modern Audi, you're never going to have this feeling. Not paying too much money, having superb comfort, and equally, and maybe more importantly if you're a petrol head, having a car that's enjoyable on the right road. Having a car you can throw through a corner, feel it hanging on, interact with it, and enjoy driving. Look at this for a comparison. This is actually the metal roof. It's the folding hardtop. It's meant to be the comfortable MX-5. I'm gonna turn off the noise cancellation that I'm running right now. Here's the noise cancellation off. As you can hear, it's like driving in a tin can. Alright, I'm gonna turn that noise cancellation back on. My absolute limit in this car is about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And then I've kind of had enough. The time has come. I've wanted one of these sponsorships for so long. This is the Wolfbox MF200. Look at this. We've got our wet surface. So little effort needed. You know all those times you wished you had some compressed air because you need to clean the little gaps inside the interior? Done. Everyone's always telling me I should really tidy up my garage because there's so many leaves. Done. It has a removable battery, so you can always get more if you need to. Wolfbox are currently having a sale, which is live on both Amazon and their website. You can get this discount down below. Links are in the description. Make sure to click them. 160 horsepower. And yeah, MX-5s can only do that stuff at slow speeds. But do you really want to do that stuff at high speeds? I don't. You see, this car's character is such that, you know how you have different breeds of dog? Some dogs, like a German Shepherd, are quite defensive, and when you first meet them, they're not sure about you. And then you have dogs like Labradors. They love absolutely everyone. This is the Labrador of cars. The car's just like, yeah, what should we do? Let's go. It just wants to please you. Its only purpose in life is to put a smile on your face. It's not actually good at the things it's trying to do, but God does it try. Let's get out onto some better roads and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And throughout this video, I'm going to keep coming back to this word, character. Doesn't matter if you're actually good at driving. If you're not, it will teach you. It will let you feel where you're going wrong. It will give you tips for how to do it right. Look at this. Enough power for the road. You don't need more power. Enough grip for the road. You don't need more grip. MX-5s are one of the only cars that out the box actually want to be driven at, 8/10 or even 9/10. Most cars really don't. But even sports cars, you get behind the wheel of a fast BMW, a Porsche. They want to go up to a certain level and then they're quite happy there. MX-5 is like, more. Drive me harder, daddy. You're always on that knife's edge. The car's always like, oh, I want to do this, But I don't know if I have the capabilities for that, big man. But we'll try. You know, my wife jokes sometimes. She's like, Mick, why'd you keep that MX-5? Like, you have money. Go and get yourself a nice car. I swear on my life, I will never sell this car. It made me fall in love with driving all over again. I had my absolute dream car, the brand new M2. A car everybody aspires to. Underneath it's an M4, but it's slightly smaller, so it should be better on the road. I just didn't enjoy it. It wasn't fun on the road. It had too much power, too much grip. In an MX-5, you drive hard like I just did, and the car's constantly like unsure if this is a good idea. It's like, yeah, let's go, and then it's like, oh, I don't know if I can actually do this. I don't think this is a car I would want to drive every day. If I needed a daily driver, this would not be my first choice. Now you can, you know, they've got a roof, kind of comfortable, the suspension at least is pretty soft. It's really the lack of refinement, the noise, you know, it does get to you. But as a second car, or even a third car that you drive occasionally for the sole purpose of having fun, especially if you live local to roads like this. If you live somewhere where you get a corner like this once in a while, get you an MX-5, my boy. I'm aware that that's not an easy thing to achieve. I mean, I'm a massive car guy. I have a YouTube channel and business around cars. And even for me, it took me just about until I was 30 years old to actually achieve having more than one car in the household. It's a difficult thing. It's an expensive thing. You have to buy 2 cars, and you have to buy 2 sets of tires and 2 sets of maintenance and 2 sets of insurance. It's not easy. You could do this with 2 very cheap cars. You can have your fun beta car, and then your running around town getting places beta car. And that's absolutely fine. And I honestly think 2 grand cars are much better than 1 4 grand car. This is a Citroën C5X. I've done a few videos about this car. It's my wife's daily driver. It's really meant as a family car for transporting yourself and your dog. One thing I love about this car is that I can whisper in here and you can still hear me. It's just a car that's designed around at a certain price, which is fairly cheap, giving you as much refinement as possible. It's just a big, soft, cushy boat, and not enough cars aim for that. Normally, this would not be enjoyable driving. We've got a 60 mile an hour enforced average limit. I'm bimbling along. Yes, I'm not using this lane because I'm just going to go past that truck anyway. I have a whole video about my thoughts on motorway etiquette up here. But I'm supremely comfortable. Once I turn the camera off, I can play my music. Stereo in here is fantastic. It's just such a lovely place to be. And cars of this value, and cars with this fuel economy, you don't get this experience. You don't get this veil. That means you don't hear the car going past you. You don't get this self-steering and this technology and this comfort. Enjoying driving is such a difficult thing, especially this type of driving, which is just not enjoyable. But the character of this car makes this better. I would never call this driving enjoyable, but it makes it bearable. I really respect the car for that. And I get comments on my YouTube videos all the time of people that have had a lot of cars and really like the C5X. And I feel the same way too. I've had a good number of cars and I've driven way more than that. This car's character, it really shines. It's like they tried to give this a defined character when they were designing it. Now the thing about that is, it's not a car that's happy on a back road. You know, a lot of cars these days, because they don't have a character, and they're trying to be all things to all people, a lot of cars are pretty competent on a back road. You can take, you know, a Skoda thing, or especially the VWs, they do this really well, is that you have a car that can do everything, right? It's probably pretty comfortable here, and it's probably pretty competent on a back road. So why wouldn't you want something that's good at all things? If you can separate out different use cases for different cars, they become exceptional at each use case. And this is where that character comes in. This car is exceptional at doing exactly what I'm doing right now, traveling. Character is a double-edged blade, because for all the benefits of character, you also get all the downsides. Some people really don't like the MX-5. The term hairdresser's car, you know, in years gone by, that was a big term. People don't use that term anymore because it's a bit homophobic, I think. I don't really know where that term comes from. I have a friend who keeps breaking cars. I've been telling him for ages, just buy an MX-5. One of the big benefits of an MX-5 is they're incredibly reliable. He just can't get over the mental hurdle. And, sorry Josh, I think it's ego. There's a perception of the type of man that drives an MX-5. And men don't want to be associated with that stereotype. It's the same reason some people will refuse to buy Ford Fiesta STs, Mini Coopers, and a lot of other cars that I probably aren't mentioning here. It's the same reason I don't like the fact that I like BMWs. There's a certain stigma that comes with driving a BMW. When it comes to the MX-5, the perception of it and the reality of it are so incredibly different that you really have to just put all that away. The perception doesn't matter when the car is this good. YouTube really thinks you're gonna like this video, but if you're interested in this type of car, I think this video about how to drive fast in boring cars is really gonna be one for you. My name's Mick, I drive cars, peace.